This is the 10-Minute Contrarian Podcast. This is VP. We are a solutions-based podcast, diving into the world of contrarian investing and alternative finance. You can find us hosted on the No Nonsense Forex YouTube channel, nononsenseforex.com, and podcast players everywhere. Episode 53 is brought to you by Bybit. Guys, I sold you short last week when I told you about the 500 USDT giveaway, because there is one, possibly two more promotions you can partake in on top of that for the month of June. I got some correspondence from my contact this week. I'm just going to simply read you what it says. And it states, for the month of June, first trade equals 10 USDT. New users deposit 100 USD and receive 100 USD. I assume that means in USDT. Existing users deposit 200 USD and receive 100 USD. This is till the end of May, supposedly, but I've extended it till the 30th of June. Now, these promotions are only eligible for those who have clicked my link and deposited and have made that first trade. You can't just click my link and sit there. They don't give you promotions for that. So click the link down below. That will take you to the blog that will give you all of the information you need. If you need more information on the promotions, I have told you all I know at this point, so simply give the customer service reps a call, and they will be happy to answer all of your questions. It is the 10-Minute Contrarian Podcast, and as I've told you guys before, I've reached OG status when it comes to investing, to the point to where I only get really excited when price drops, because when price is rising, there's not a lot of opportunity, to where when price drops, the opportunities start to trickle in, and the more price drops, the opportunities start coming in heavy. Now, I'm already pretty happy with what I have invested, but if some is good, more is better, and at these prices, it's going to be really hard to ignore some of these opportunities that I'm looking at. Now, I may not pick these up on my next bullish signal. I don't exactly know how I'm going to play this just yet, but what I'm doing, and what all of you should be doing, is putting together a watch list. Don't just wake up one day and say, oh my God, prices have tanked, I need to start buying stuff. Start making your list now. Now, I am not a financial advisor. Do not do anything I say, but what I will be doing in a handful of these next podcast episodes is telling you some of the things that are currently on my watch list, whether it's something new or whether it is an existing position that I plan to add on to. Now, if prices in a lot of these sectors had only dropped maybe 30-40%, what I would mostly be doing is adding on to older positions. But when it drops like this, and how much further it could drop, we'll talk about that maybe in another episode. I have an opportunity to enter positions that I feel like I might have missed out on before. Or, in the case of XRP, a position I may have abandoned too early. Now, doing an episode on XRP is difficult because XRP Army represents the 10-Minute Contrarian Podcast heavy. But like a lot of the people I see on YouTube and Twitter when it comes to XRP, they're so deep in the weeds that they're not really able to explain it very well to somebody who's not even holding XRP at the time. So over the last month or so, I've been diving deeper and deeper into it. Yes, I do like what I see, but I am only going to give you the Cliff Notes version. And then XRP Army, if you're listening on a podcast player right now, which I think the majority of you do, go to YouTube and go down to the comments section and add on anything else you would like to add on. Bullish or bearish. Help the community out. But I will go ahead and start doing my part now. Let's jump right into things. One of the things I had always liked about XRP is it's pretty singular. There's not much competition for it. You can argue stellar lumens to a point. A lot of people in the XRP community will say that Stellar is pretty much the test net to where XRP is the main net. I do agree with that. But it has such a lead on any other competition, with Ripple Labs' Xcurrent becoming the conduit for the majority of bank transactions all over the world. The SWIFT system is old, it is in danger, it is dying, and the banking world knows this. Not only is it under attack because the United States dollar is under attack and will lose its hegemony one day, it's also under attack because they know that if they don't update it soon with better technology, then better technology will come along to simply replace it. And then they no longer wield that sword that they have wielded for so many decades. And all of this could very well happen, despite the big lawsuit going on right now with XRP against the SEC. This was the reason I abandoned my position in the first place. I think I dropped out at 0.21. I don't regret it. I bought Ethereum with it, so I'm happy there. But I was like, dude, the SEC just does not lose. It is a virtual death sentence. And so I'm simply just going to play the odds and put my money elsewhere for now. And I might come back to it later when it's time, especially if it does win the lawsuit, which I did not see happening. I don't think most people saw it happening. Maybe the super dedicated faithful. But God damn it, they are winning this battle. Now, it's kind of tough to get unbiased news because almost every news source you find out there that covers this trial is very pro-XRP. I've yet to see anything that is very pro-SEC, and I've been looking for it. Remember, places like CNBC and Bloomberg, they are fully in the corner of the government, the SEC, Jerome Powell, they love him. You know, everything crypto is fighting against. And it's almost like they don't want to tell us what's going on that side. Meanwhile, the XRP side is telling us every single detail about the case, and all of it really does sound incredibly bullish for XRP, especially what just happened this week. We pretty much learned that in the fight against the SEC that we have a very fair and honest judge, which really surprised me. It's almost to the point now where all the banks and all the big organizations have all the best lawyers. It's nothing more than a kangaroo court, yes, even in the United States. And why even bother? But it looks like my cynicism has been proven wrong again. Without getting into too much over-the-top, boring detail, the SEC has bungled this at every turn. Their lawyers, the SEC lawyers that you think would be some of the best in the world, they are lacking so much hard evidence, and they have stalled for so long that the judge finally said no more stalling. I mean, in order to beat the SEC, you would have to have a very lopsided case, but it looks like that is what they have. And remember, too, this is more than just a fight for XRP. This is a fight for crypto in the United States in general, and what will almost certainly become a fight for the overall bullishness and price of cryptocurrencies, not only in the short term, but probably the medium term as well. Because if these things are going to fall under the SEC, it's going to be very rough sledding going forward. Now, the alternative I don't think is that great for what it's worth. Everybody's like, oh, yay, they'll fall under the CFTC. As a Forex trader for 12 years, I just want to say be careful what you wish for. But it would be better than the SEC, I will give you that. Gary Gensler was hired specifically to go after cryptocurrencies because they threaten the power of not only the United States government, but governments all over the Western world. So there are about 1,017 different places you can go for news on this trial. I don't have a particular favorite source, but I'm sure many of you do, and feel free to put that down below in the YouTube description as well. And I will move on to my other bullish case, which is a lot of countries, despite what happens in the United States, are planning on using XRP to create their own stablecoins and or CBDCs. This is tremendously bullish for a coin that has done nothing but drop since September 2021. Like I've said before, with tokens like Cardano and Chainlink, the fundamentals just keep getting better. But with something like XRP, the fundamentals are getting better on a very grand scale. It's just too much upside to ignore. Just this week, Stellar Lumens and XRP partnered to create the very first stablecoin for Australia. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be AUDC. Again, is this going to be created for the decentralization of humankind in Australia, or is it going to be created for the purpose of further controlling the people of Australia? Yet to be seen. But regardless of intent, XRP was a main component, and do not expect this to be the only time that happens. The bullish case for XRP has simply become too bullish for me to ignore anymore, and it is at the top of my watch list. XRP currently sits around 37 cents, and you have to decide what you think the actual high was. Was it that 2018 Crazy Balls high, or was it the most recent one we had in April of 2021? Sometimes when you have those ridiculous parabolic highs like you had back in 2018, I don't pay a lot of attention to them. Almost in the silver crowd, when they talk about the high being $50, I'm like, that's when two guys tried to corner the market. We will never see anything like that again. But the silver crowd always loves to point to that like 1981 high. It's dumb. Like in this case with XRP, I would go more with the April 2021 high. And if that was the case, you're probably looking at right around a 5x if we get there again. But if you do consider 2018 to be the actual high, then you're looking at more of a 9x at this point, if we reach those highs again. Now just remember, too, when it comes time to buy XRP, there are not many places you can actually do that. Don't forget, there's no better place than Bybit. One of the only places you can actually do it in private. As for me, I will be stuck buying mine on Uphold, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it is about as centralized as it gets. But to their credit, they have stuck with XRP through thick and thin. And Uphold has a lot of really cool options for holding metals and different currencies and stocks. They have upheld their promise, for the last few years or so, and they have just gotten better and better. Got to give them credit. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for us contrarians, most of the world, even the crypto world, is no longer bullish on XRP. Nor do most people even know what it is. With everything tanking around us, entering something like this now may seem absolutely crazy. And well, maybe when it was at $1.81, maybe that was a bit crazy to buy XRP at that time during a trial. But now, at 37 cents or maybe lower, when the odds have now tilted towards XRP to win this trial, it's no longer crazy. We now have the chance of still being very early.